What is it good, everyone? So hello and welcome. Obviously, as you can tell from the title of the video, I've just finished a 2-week mini cut. So what the cut was for is because I'm heading to Bali and I want to look good. So yeah, that's why. So obviously I'm post show now, and I'd put on approximately maybe £5 from my weekly average weigh-in. And as you can see from the clips that I'm about to show, I was looking a bit more fluffy than I'd liked, so that's why I decided to do one of these. So in terms of macros, I was working in ranges as I wanted to be a bit more relaxed, as obviously I don't want it to suffer the consequences of too much restriction in my diet. So for that reason, my carbs were in the range of 250 to 270. My protein was sitting at around 160 to 170, and my fats was like 50 to 60. So a few nice ranges there that I could play with a little bit, and if I went higher on fat, I'd go lower on carbs. Just giving myself the freedom that I need. In terms of cardio, I was essentially doing it as I saw fit, and it pretty much resulted me into doing about 20 minutes on the Stairmaster 2 to 3 times per week throughout this whole cut. Another thing to mention is I made sure TDEE, Total Daily Energy Expenditure, which pretty much includes like any movement that you do outside of physical activity such as cardio and the gym. Well, my stats were pretty much around 15,000, so that's quite a lot of activity. So if you compare myself to what I was doing during the comp prep, I was like literally doing about like 8,000 on days when I wasn't working. So obviously I was doing like an extra 7,000 steps, and that's probably going to be a fair few extra calories burnt. And it's obviously very easy to get steps in. It's not exhaustive under any shape or form. Another thing to say is obviously one thing I was doing when I was doing my cardio is I was doing like sprints, sort of intervals at the end of my sort of the session. So say if I was doing 20 minutes of Stairmaster, what I'd do is for that last 5 minutes I'd do like some sprints in there. Level 20 on the Stairmaster, sprinting up them stairs, just to try and burn a little bit extra and gain a little bit of fitness. So that's pretty much what I did for the cut. So let's get started with the footage. I'll see you guys in the next clip. So here we go. This is week 0. So the pretty much average weigh-in for this week was about 153 pounds. Which is, as I said, about £5 up from my lowest average that I recorded for my comp, which was obviously £148. So obviously I'm still pretty lean, but I'm definitely looking a bit fluffy. Face is a bit chubbier, and just a lot less definition as there was. I think it's obviously also pretty important to say that like the lighting in this room, sorry, not even the lighting in this room, the lighting in this clip is just pretty shite. I really should have readjusted my camera or moved back or something, but it's too late to resolve that now, so we're going to have to deal with these clips. But hopefully it's a nice representative example, and you guys will be able to see the progress that I made. So 4th day of cutting, back day today. Started off on some lat pull downs, wide grip, and going to move on to the cable row with like a neutral grip on there. So weighing at 150.8 this morning. Going to do a little sort of like physique update of someone else filming later on, just because I feel like that first clip may have been a bit shit. So just going to get that. Still going to do a comparison at the end with it, but yeah, that's the plan. So here is a clip from day 4 of cutting, and obviously it's pretty obvious already that I've probably lost a nice bit of fat. Now, what I've noticed from myself and with some other individuals is that some people, as soon as they get in a deficit for just a couple of days, they notice a drastic difference in how lean they are, and I myself am one of them personally. I think there's really 2 categories of people. It's some people look a lot better when they've had a lot of carbs and nutrition and food in them, and some people they just look better after they've been in a deficit for a couple of days. What is good, guys? So I am on pretty much day 11 of this cut, day 10 or 11, and it's going pretty successful so far. So the plan for today is head to the gym and help a pull session. Going to also head to the bank because I need to extend my student account because I'm a student for another year because I'm doing a master's. So I'm going to do that now and then head over to the gym. But before, I just quickly show you my weekly weigh-ins. So obviously before I started I was weighing about 153 on average, and then last week's average was 151.4, so that's like a pretty ideal sort of weight loss, like 1.6 pounds. It's pretty good. So this week we've been pretty much, wait, let me sort this shit out. Yeah, so look at that. So this week 150.8, 149.8, 150.4 and 149.4. So it looks like we're heading towards a like sub 1. Fuck me, this camera's fucking me over today. Anyway, so it looks like we're heading for a week where it's below 150, which is ideal, which will give us a nice weight for Bali. But I'll do a physique update obviously right at the end as well. But I also might do a little one today because training back, getting a bit of a pump, you know. Was gonna actually do 3 days just maintenance, but I'm feeling pretty good, to be honest. Like, yeah. So the only reason I was gonna do that is in case I wasn't feeling good, because obviously I had prepped like previously, but I am feeling good. So obviously play it by ear, see how I feel on Monday. Probably just do like 1 day maintenance and probably sort me out. Kind of want to get a naughty pump though, so might do like Monday maintenance, train Tuesday. I think that's the plan, probably gonna do that. Anyway, off to the bank because it's getting fucking late. So yeah, gonna end this clip. See you in a bit. What is good, guys? So here it is, the final physique, and this is after the 2-week mini cut. So obviously, as you can tell, abs are coming back in, legs are looking pretty good, and yeah, very happy with the conditioning. So I think it's probably pretty obvious that I did lose, well, obviously I did lose weight because the numbers don't lie. So the weekly average for this one was 149.7, which means I lost about 4.3 pounds in the space of 2 weeks, which is a pretty nice and ideal rate of weight loss. So I think it's going to be pretty more obvious when we do the physique comparison, if it's not already, that we've had a very successful mini cut. So this is the less representative example in which I got someone to film it a bit more close up, and obviously, as you can tell, camera angles and lighting play an extremely integral part into how your physique looks. I think it's pretty obvious that I look a lot better in these clips than the ones just shown previously. So in a second you're going to see a few poses that would probably make up a fitness model posing routine. Potentially the pro show one that is in November. Who knows? And without further ado, guys, here is the final comparison. So obviously, as you can tell, it's fairly obvious that I've lost a fair bit of fat and I've got myself in a lot better condition. So obviously, as you can also tell, the lighting is better on the right, but obviously it's due to me also looking better as well. It's not just all down to the lighting, which obviously by getting these in the positions I did want to mitigate, but there's always going to be discrepancies. So I think this is a really good freeze frame to just show how I've advanced. So obviously my quads looking a lot leaner and also my abs. So I think the key take-home message from this is that if you are in semi-decent shape, you're probably only a couple of pounds away from really getting into that next level physique where you're going to be extremely happy with how you look, and you really have got a lot more definition in a lot more places. So something that I've said quite a lot on this channel and is very evident here is that my back is definitely the last place to get lean. As you can see here, I've got a bit of fat rolls there. Not ideal, but you've got to work with what God gave you. Now, this is probably the best freeze frame. You know, obliques are in, and the abs are looking a lot better, and you know, it's just the perfect one to show really where the fat has come off, and how I've really progressed. That's going to conclude the video, guys. I hope this has been informative. I'll see you in the next one. I thought that